Hey there, you're listening to the GROUPEX podcast with Tony Donato. Today I'm talking with Heidi Milligan, Club Manager of Fit in Lane Cove. We chat about Heidi's transition into the fitness industry, designing a world-class facility with world-class service, working out their mission, vision, values and goals, running 5 studios in one club, and all things GROUPEX. Thank you for coming along and joining me. I appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
How did you get into the fitness industry? Where did your journey begin?
Okay, so I've got a bit of a fork in the road kind of story because I was a nurse. So I was a midwife actually for most of my career, right up until I had my 3rd child. So I worked at a hospital delivering babies and, doing all those sort of things.
Yeah.
And I guess just fitness, exercise was always a bit of a thing that I loved just for my own personal enjoyment on the side. And when I had baby number 2, we live up Hornsby Way, Fernwood, Hornsby opened up, and I took out a membership and off I went. And I hadn't had much exposure to actual group fitness. Like I was a bit of a hockey player and all those sort of things. And suddenly ended up in a studio doing body pump and all these things. And I thought, far out, this is so much fun.
Excellent.
And I think just my personality is that why just do it? Why not be it? And so off I went and went and got my body pump certification. And actually, no, body combat was my first thing. So
wow.
It always makes me laugh that Les Mills seems to be this pathway into group fitness. And I think I've always got such a soft spot for the instructors before that. It's always a funny thing I tell my junior staff now because they're all 5 years old and I'm 5,000. But I belong to a gym in Crow's Nest called 1812, and Marcus Irwin was my group fitness instructor, and there would have been probably 75 people. And if you got your grapevine L-shaped twist curl wrong, you'd cause a car crash. So it was that was sort of my introduction to aerobics. And I think I just loved that energy, and I loved that, the show poniness of it, and, the leotards and the hair and everything that came with it. So I think Les Mills to me, when I came back to group exercise, it was kind of so polished. It was intriguing, because I had come from that more raw freestyle world.
Yeah.
So I was at Fernwood. I had a very beautiful instructor who you might know, Jessie Franklin.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think my story is connections. Like I'm still to this day so in awe of people I've met along the way. And I think they're the people who probably have kept me on this path. It would be very easy to go back to nursing or go back to midwifery. But so Jazz was this beautiful, gorgeous, blonde, happy thing up on stage. And I thought, I can do that. And so she taught me, and she said, you can be a body combat instructor. So off I went and did my body combat course, came back to the club, and an instructor hadn't turned up for class, and someone said, well, you've got to teach it. I was like, okay.
Thrown in the deep end.
Yeah. So off I went, and that was my introduction to teaching. And so off I went. I worked there for a while, which was good fun. And then I went to all the salubrious places in Hornsby, World of Fitness, which was essentially a garage. That was great fun. Had great fun there. And all I ever wanted to do was work for Fitness First. I thought that was just like, the pinnacle of the local area anyway. And finally got myself a little body attack class there. And I went and I taught the first body attack class on the opening of Hornsby Fitness First.
Excellent.
Which was good fun.
Yeah.
And then that became home for a while. So, and I think, like preambling, that was probably the beginning of me thinking that there was the concept of a career or a just accepting group fitness or the fitness arena as something more than just good fun. and that there were some people really dedicated to the experience and to the culture, and not just about, you know, how much sweat you could put on the floor or anything like that. So I met, well, while I taught there on the timetable, I was also a personal trainer there, and so really did spend a lot of time there. And I met this fabulous person, again, you might know, Liz Jones.
Yes. Yeah.
Who to this day remains just one of my favorite people. And
I love hearing that.
I was always really taken by her capacity to be fair, to be extraordinarily fit and beautiful, but just to treat people really well. And I think I suddenly thought, you know, to build a team, to do what you do, it's not about being the best instructor or being the skinniest instructor or whatever. It's being a leader. And it's being someone who inspires people to be the best they can be. But also not allow, you know, the ego and the bullshit to overtake the experience for the members.
So true.
And Liz did that in such a great way. And anyway, with all the machinations that world had, she was moved on to another club for a while, and she said, why don't you do my job? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to do that. She said, you could do it with your eyes shut. And so I did. And took on that role, and I think that's when I met you. You were down at, were you at North Sydney then?
Elizabeth Plaza.
Yep. Oh, Elizabeth Plaza. And that was a great ride, and it's really interesting. I don't look back at much of my career and think I made a mistake, or because every experience I've had has taught me more and more. And there were plenty of opportunities where I could have said, oh, right, that's it, I'm going to go back. You know, when Fitness First had a big, well, I guess there was a huge change in the way that we all were employed, and we went through the redundancies and whatnot. And I do think those early days really taught me a lot about where I am today. And I'm very grateful and thankful for those experiences.
Me too.
Even though at times, you know, you met all sorts of personalities along the way.
Part and parcel with it, though, isn't it?
And I love that they're all still around. It's fun. But yeah, so that was, you know, so I always taught classes around that as well, which was great fun. And sort of decided that I would like to throw my hand into just being in other clubs and other gyms. So I went to North Shore Gym, and that's where I met Dukes and Matt, who I work for now. And you know, I just was on their timetable, hung out there. They purchased Lane Cove, and after a while I said to them, do you want me to give you a hand with your group fitness? Because, you know, we had two timetables, big timetables, you know, like the, you know, 50 classes in pinball and a heap at Lane Cove. And I said, do you want me to give you a hand with this? And they went, oh, would you? I said, sure. Now, those two guys are the bravest, most incredible people, and it's been such a fun ride working with them. So I came and joined them, left Fitness First, and it was very organic. You know, they're not a big, you know, flashy sort of Fitness First style thing. We got things going, and we had a lot of fun, and we had timetables running, and it was quite, you know, Les Mills focused at that stage. Spin, all those sort of things. And one day we were at Lane Cove, probably about 6 years ago, and the boys said, oh, Heidi, let's go for a coffee. And I thought, oh my God, I'm being fired.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, here it comes. And so we went downstairs, and they said, hey, Heids, we love what you do. Would you consider being our club manager? And it was just so out of left field. It was just I seriously thought I was being fired. So, you know, laughed and laughed and laughed. And it was really interesting because, you know, I've had no experience in club management. My whole perception of club management was the Fitness First model, which was, to me, you know, a little bit scary because you know, the whole P&L thing, and I don't know, it just didn't really sit with me. But I thought, well, why not? You know, like, I love these two guys. They're pretty brave, fearless people.
Yep.
At that stage, I didn't know how brave and fearless. And
Yep.
so off I went. So I was running the Lane Cove Club.
Yep.
And that was really, for me, probably where things changed completely. So we had the two clubs, obviously. And then about 3.5 years ago, the business split.
Yep.
And the Lane Cove Club became rebranded and became Fit Lane Cove. So, and I'd been working there, obviously, so I stayed there. But it has been the most incredible journey. The rebranding process was fascinating.
Yep.
What that entails and what it involves. But I think, coming back to the people you meet and the people that you have around you, is those two guys, they're young, they're experienced in the fitness industry, but they don't come out of the, cookie cutter mold.
Yep.
Like they're
Yep.
really big thinkers. They're fearless. They go, why not? If there's a question. And I think working alongside them has been every day as a learning experience. So we went through a rebrand. I've got no experience in marketing, no experience in that, but we did it, and we created this funky brand.
Yep.
We decided we wanted a personal training system, so we collaborated and we developed our own in-house PT system.
Great.
And then subsequently hiring and developing our PTs. But probably the most exciting thing is that we decided to just take a really good look at our club.
Yep.
And make some really scary but fantastic changes. So when I say we, I'm collaborative in the process of the conversations.
Yeah. Yep.
The guys who own it, the thing I like about them is their headspace is to not look inwards, they look outwards. They do a lot of looking at clubs overseas. So we've loved looking at some of the premium American clubs like Equinox.
Yep.
We've looked at a beautiful club in London called Third Space, and thinking, what are these guys doing that create a premium health club experience that is that little bit different? So one of the beautiful things about Fit Lane Cove is its evolution, and over the last couple of years we have become what we call one club, 5 studios. The really great thing was we just decided, as part of a rebrand, you have to develop your mission statement and your vision. And we came up with that we want to deliver a world-class facility with world-class service. And that's really stuck with us. And it's not, you can sometimes sort of think, oh, everyone wants that. And to us, it's not about just having a clean gym floor or, a class that starts on time or all those sort of funny things that are your studio standard stuff that we all have in every club. But what sets us apart, that we really believe that our club is possibly one of the best in Sydney, if not in New South Wales, if not in Australia. And we have a huge vision for the club. We have a huge vision for each studio in the club. So that's something that we try and just take every staff member, every member on that journey with us. That's their expectation, and so that's how they feel when they walk into the club. And for us, we obviously can't build 5 studios in one hit. We started off thinking, okay, let's try. We had the old level where there was the upstairs group fitness studio, where there was body pump, body attack, body combat, all those things, and a spin studio next door. And we thought, right, let's look at what is out there. Boutique fitness is what people are really wanting at the moment. So we were looking at the F45s and the standalone yoga studios or Pilates studios, and thinking this is where people are looking now. So why can't a big gym deliver the same boutique experience that people are looking for out on the town? So we developed Exhale. And just before I go back into the studios that we made, one of our decisions in moving towards the mind-body programs that we developed was, rather than just hire a group fitness manager, which is the traditional, I can, get a cover for you and I'll do your roster for you, and oops, someone's turned up late. And, we thought, well, we want to, as part of our world-class service and our world-class facility, we need someone who's going to just think a little bit out of the box for us. So we recruited for our group fitness manager, and this guy came along, and he was just, he was so overqualified for the job. When he came in for his interview, I thought, what do you want? Why are you here? He'd had personal training courses. He'd owned his own mind body studio in a suburb, like a very successful one. And, at the end of the interview, he said, well, I'll be really honest, we've just had another baby, and I need a bit more money, and you guys are doing something really interesting, and I'd love to be part of it. So we took a risk, and he was fantastic because he didn't look at it from the traditional group fitness perspective. He said, well, what are we creating here? So right from the get-go, he brought every instructor in that we recruited into our Exhale studio, which was our first studio, and it was yoga, mat Pilates and bar. And we individually interviewed each person. He set studio standards.
Excellent.
He talked about what it was to be part of this studio, not just, do you want a job here? He just went, I want best of the best. And it was really nice. It was really refreshing to have someone who just sort of wasn't like, okay, so you're 9:45 on a Monday, and it was he developed something with us, and so that was our Exhale studio, and that was a huge hit. We recruited some pretty amazing instructors who, even when we opened the studio, one lady came in with her smudging sticks or something, and we smoked the room, and it was authentically a yoga studio, natural wood on the floor, beautiful, live plants in the room. And boom, members came. They loved that. So our next thought was, right, well, reformer. People want reformer. So Dukes has chopped up the gym, and there's no offices. We have one office, and the management team squeeze in together. Hey, hi, this is fun. And then our gym floor, it's all for the club. And so we built a reformer studio called Exhale Reformer with 16 reformer beds in there, and that was just insane. That's at capacity every class. And
I need to come and see this place again. It's been a long time. I need to come back up.
It's quite stunning. I mean, it's interesting when I tour people to join. I come downstairs and I genuinely don't understand why they're joining. Like, I'm about to join it, and I work there. It's a beautiful club. So reformer, amazing. And then we thought, right, what's next? This is fun. What's our next studio? So then we developed Studio One. So our group fitness room upstairs, I don't know if you've ever been to the Lane Cove gym, but it is,
I remember it was
massive.
It was big, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful room looking straight out over the Harbour Bridge. It's the most gorgeous piece of real estate. And we thought, we shut those doors. We have 2 classes and no one goes in there for the rest of the day. So we chopped out the walls. We stuck the play flooring down, the running track. I mean, if you look on our website, you see pictures of it. It's the funkiest room, and it's become our functional training room. So it's called Studio One, and in there we run our HIIT classes. So, well, it's our studio HIIT, and they're super fun, really fun. So we have the program up on a TV. We have a coach in the room. There's a cardio, there's a strength, there's a mixed. They're 30-minute HIIT sessions. They run back to back. They're good fun. And we have body pump. That's the one thing we haven't let go of. And then that was fun. So we had our 3 studios. Also on the side, we've always had our spin studio. And cycle's one of those funny things. Like, cycle has always been quite popular. We've had traditional spin classes. We don't We love the freestyle style.
Yep.
So towards the end of last year, we thought we need to start rethinking what spin looks like. You know, it's one of those funny things. You have the people who love spin or they don't. They either come or they don't. Like I don't find that you get that cross studio thing with people.
Yeah.
So COVID hit and we had a room full of bikes, so we just sold them all. And as part of our online offering, anyone who bought a bike got a spin class as well. So, but that's just an aside to say that when we reopened, we filled a studio full of beautiful IC7 bikes and, you know, funky lights. And we thought, my God, we've got this 4th studio now. We can't have it just sitting there for 2 or 3 spin classes a day. So we turned that into a hit studio, and we called that Pursuit. And we have a guy programming for that, and that's been amazing. So we have a huge amount of classes in there. So again, we've got people who can go to their yoga class, to their HIIT class, to their reformer class, to their spin class. And then towards the end of last year, we thought, right, what's next? And we Run Athletic. And so Run Athletics a 9 treadmill studio, and it's another HIIT studio with running being the hero of the class. And on the back side of it, we have the Techno Gym bench, which is a funky little piece which has got weights and cables and hand weights and whatnot. And so there's a whole timetable of 30-minute classes in there. So currently we have 251 classes a week in the club.
Wow, that's huge.
It's huge.
What's your average attendance like in these classes? Like, how many people are you roughly getting per class?
Reformer is, I mean, it's in the high 90s. Look, they're all overperforming. Right, we don't have anything underperforming. They run.
Fantastic.
They're really fun. They're super fun. It really is 5 studios, 1 club. You've got the people who love their HIIT, but the great thing is we're seeing is that, you know, our little yoga people who don't do anything else are starting to creep out onto the gym floor or creep upstairs and do a HIIT class or meet a personal trainer. And
you've made it a destination.
It's this one-stop shop. It's a crazy beautiful place.
That's brilliant. So obviously with COVID at the moment, are they booking in, or there's obviously because you've got restrictions around how many people can come in to classes?
So after the last lockdown and we reopened, we did have the restrictions, but you know, we're at 16 in the smaller studios, and I think the max we got to was 30 before we dropped out on the stairs, one upstairs. But I think we use a booking system for all our classes, so it's very well managed. So, you know, our priority was to make members feel safe and make members feel that we were managing space as well. We're not so concerned about packing the room just for the sake of numbers. And to be quite honest, I actually wonder if that is a thing of the past now. I don't know that people do want to be in a room full of 70 people.
Not anymore. No.
Is that an experience?
I think some people will still look at it in certain we'll class them as gyms, not health clubs out there that you know, there's still the group fitness instructor that thinks that, you know, they are the reason that people are rocking up to the class. And you know, there are some clubs out there that still have the 40 plus going, but not as many. There's a lot of people that are doing group fitness, especially at the moment or since COVID hit us, that don't want to be in that space with that many people. They prefer to have their own space because, you know, this thing's not gone anywhere. It's still here, and they want to protect themselves. But I think clubs are also realizing that, and as you guys have done with the 5 studios, you need to offer more to your member, not just the cycle studio and the main group fitness studio. And maybe we've got some space over there for yoga or Pilates or whatever it may be. You've done the destination for each thing, and that is what attracts a wider variety of people to come into your center. But as you said as well, you're noticing that those yogis are going to do other stuff within the center, you know, on the gym floor or looking at other classes as well. So I think you're right. The offering is really what it comes down to, and those people don't necessarily want to be in that space where there is 40 odd people anymore. Those days they have gone.
And I do think too, part of the development of the team is, what I guess one of my pet hates when I was back group fitness instructing was I'd, perhaps ring someone up and say, hey, can you do a Pilates class or a body pump class for me? And my response was, oh, how many people are in it? I think, really? Like, wow, it is, does the amount of people in front of you, like, what are you wanting? Like, is this about you, or is it about what we're doing? So I would say even in our recruitment, we've spent a lot of time. We're very proud of our brand, like immensely proud of our brand.
Yeah.
And so for people who want to be with us on our journey, we want to love our brand as much as we do, love our people as much as we do.
You've got to get the right fit.
Zero issue with anyone working anywhere else, but when you're with us, you're one of us. And and the buy-in is amazing, because I think my philosophy of that, you bring your best every day. People rise to that and do really well at that.
Be completely honest and transparent with you here. There's not a lot of clubs out there that recruit instructors the way that you guys have done and the way you've explained it. They'll just go, I need such and such a class at such and such a time. Who's available? Yeah, cool, you'll do, because you can do it. You don't have that skill set. You don't have that you guys, you said that you've sat down and you've done your vision statement, your mission, your values, all that kind of stuff. And if the person that is teaching for you doesn't fit, then don't employ them. So many clubs don't realize that it's not just an instructor, just an instructor. Yeah, there's so many of them out there, but that's not what you need in order to make a brand and make your club stand out from every other club that's around there. Yeah, having that person.
Well, one of the really fascinating, one of the really fascinating things we've done on a lot of our recruitment, probably not so much on your yogis and your reformers, because those guys know what they're doing and they either gel with our philosophy. Like, we don't have aerials and silks and all those sort of things. But when it comes to our HIT team and our personal training team, we've always done a process of recruitment where everyone who applies is invited for an interview. Every single person. And it's a group interview, and half of them won't come. And the thing I love most is standing at the desk at reception, and when they all rock in, because they don't know who I am or anything, and watching them sit down and see, does anyone actually talk to anyone else, or does anyone engage, or who says hi to me, or who makes small talk to the team members around me, and that says volumes. And then we're upstairs, and Matt and I'll have a bit of a chat and talk about the vision of the club and who we are, and we always want to deliver who we are to anyone who comes into our club, because if they're going to be on our team and be on with what we do, they need to understand who we are. So we're not, if you work at 5 different clubs, unless they're all of the one brand, we need you to come in and be our brand, like that. That's what we need. So from there we chat, we throw curly questions out, we have a laugh, and it's really fun seeing how people operate as a group, because I think you can start to see, well, if I put you in front of our members, that's your personality that we're going to see. And 9 out of 10 times we've been right. And the ones who perhaps show pony a little bit, or, they fall apart when it comes to having to talk about who they really are in front of other people. So, it's been a fun process doing that. And
there's a lot of instructors out there that don't know who they are. And I say that with respect to instructors that have been doing this for a long time. There are, as you said, there are a lot of show ponies out there that they're in it for the glorious. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I call them the Pavarottis, the me's. They want to sit in front of people, and it's, what, my time slot's 5:30 on a Monday night. How goddamn good am I? Because my class is full. Well, mate, you're not that good. You know what? I put you on a time slot that is the worst time slot in my club, and you can bring people in. Then yes, you're a good instructor. Someone that just rocks up and just does it and then nicks off again. hang on a second. No, I don't even want you on my team either. I think it's great
Mm,
how you have interviewed in that way and actually gotten those right people, because you're right in saying that in that environment where they need to be able to tell you who they are, not just what they do.
mm,
Yeah, cool. You're trained in that. You're trained in that program. Yay for you! Oh, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, good on
yeah,
you. But can you deliver, or can you bring to this what we need you to bring in order to help us grow our business? And there's
yeah,
not many clubs in a bloody big statement I'm about to make, but not many clubs in Australia that do it in that way. Yeah, especially
mm,
when you look at all the chains, not one of them. Not one
yeah,
of them look at it in that way. They all turn around and go, "Oh, can you teach at 5:30 Tuesday? Yep, great, you're on."
mm,
Have they been in? Have they been auditioned? Have they actually come in for an interview? No. Have you got your fitness registration? Have you got your first aid? Have you got all the your quals you need? Yep, cool, you're on. How
yeah,
do you know if they fit in front of your member?
mm,
I think that's a difference between, as you're saying, you've got a club rather than just a gym.
yeah,
Just a gym down the road
and
that's, we cater for everybody and try and do everything, where they cater for no one and really don't offer anything at all.
yeah. And the thing we say to our guys, once they're on board, we tell them, you are our superstars. Like, I was a superstar, Tone, but like, I'm not anymore. Like,
Yep, yep. So
I
was I,
think,
wasn't
yeah, we all were.
I?
But like, I think I don't even teach. Um, sorry, that's poor.
All right.
I don't even teach anymore. It's
Yep.
I used to think all my cred was tied up in, my full spin class or my crazy
Yep.
body attack class. And I love more than anything is walking past a studio and seeing one of my guys engaged. And I love hearing a member come to the desk and go, "Oh, I just love Tiff," or whatever,
Yep. Yep.
because I think you just did the job. You did exactly what we want. You are our superstars. Like, and my job, I feel now, is leadership of that,
Yep.
is developing who these people are going to be, and how they're going to treat our members and how they're going to feel about themselves.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I love. They're all quite young, and I'm getting on the other side of that now. And I it's interesting. I was listening to the podcast of your fellow at Dubbo. Like,
Yep.
what a cool
Yep.
guy.
Andrew. Yeah.
And I think one thing he said is that no one's going to love the club as much as you. And I felt a little bit sad about that, because I thought, why shouldn't every person in the club who works with us or
Yep.
who works alongside us
Love it as much
not
as
love
you.
the club as much as
Yeah.
me? And
Yep.
I would say that with the guys I work with, I don't have any ownership of that club at all.
Yep.
I'm not invested. I'm not, but I love it like a baby.
Yeah.
And I think my headspace is, maybe it's the midwife in me, but these guys have said to me, run our club. They're still very hands-on. They're amazing. They're in there every day doing the thing. But
Yep.
it's when someone hands you their baby, they want you to look after it.
Yeah.
And I love that thing. I love it. I love it like my own. And
Yep.
I think when you feel like that about where you work or what you do, hopefully people pick that up and start to love it too.
Yeah.
It's like when you go out with your child
Yep.
and people go, "Oh, isn't she beautiful?" And you go, "Yeah."
Yeah. Damn straight.
Damn straight. Like,
Yep.
that's my club. My
Yep.
club is beautiful, and I want people who look after it with me
Yep.
to love it like theirs as well. And
Yeah.
I think that's what we get on the whole. I mean, it's funny. People often say, "Oh, do you know your competition?" And I think, I feel like we are the competition. Like, we're developing something brand new. We offer the most extraordinary content in our club. We have 5 boutique studios, and we present it at a price point that's really affordable for, we're not up on the high end. We're not, we should be probably, but it is the boutique experience, which is available for so many people. And, so many people who come and join just go, "Oh my God, I wish you would open up here," or "I wish you were here," or "This is
time to
why haven't I
franchise.
heard about you before?" Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very lucky. We've got a really great pair who do our marketing for us, and they're a little South Coast based company, and they just, again, but it's interesting with them is when they met with Dukes, they just got him, they get his headspace, they get his vision, and that guy goes at 100 miles an hour. Like, let me tell you, there's not much. He's unstoppable. I mean, you've met him. He's unstoppable.
Yeah.
And it's such a fun ride because it doesn't stop. When there's a decision to be made, you don't have to go through 25 channels.
Yeah.
He goes, shall we? And we go, yeah. And he goes, right, let's do it. That's how it is. And so these marketing guys have jumped on board with us too, and they've also really helped put just, I guess, if you look at our Instagram or our Facebook or our website, that is our look and feel, and they've helped us develop it because they've understood who we are.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I got an email from a lady the other day saying, I'm interested in joining your club. However, I need to come in to see what it looks like because I don't like looking at stock pictures on the internet.
Yep.
And I went, you're not. That's the club.
That's the club. Yeah.
She goes, what? Yeah. Can't look like that.
Yeah.
It.
No,
So,
it's true though, and I a testament to that lady as well. I think that's great that she's got the balls to actually turn around and go, no, I'm not going to buy just from looking. I need to come in. I want to have a look. But the fact that you guys have put your image on the website and are not using the stock standard images, which so many clubs do. So many clubs will not put what their club looks like straight up on that website. I mean, that's your advertising. That's the first stop where people look before they're going to come in the front door. If they're searching and researching what's going on, they're going to look online. And if your presence online is not up to scratch, they're just going to Google onto the next one. Thanks. Yep. Yeah. But if you've got something there that's
all the guys you see on those pictures, like Tom will ring me and he goes, "Oh, Hides, we're going to do a Studio One shoot." Yep. I run upstairs and find 5 members and go, "Hey, do you want to be in a photo shoot?" And they go, "Yeah, that's fun." And so they're all members. So, and they get a buzz out of being in our socials, and it's fun.
Yeah. You know what I love the most is that you've sat down with the boys and you have those goals, and you've set mission value stuff in place. It's almost like doing your blueprint, of your business, that you've done it, you've got it set up. So many clubs I talk to still today have no business plan and don't know what they're doing. What do you mean? What do you need? What do we need a business plan for? We're a gym. We run classes in there. We run a spin class over there, and there's the weight floor. People come in. We offer them a 7-day trial or whatever it may be, and there's a membership option, and you can either do a 10-visit pass, a 20-visit pass, or 3 monthly or 6 monthly, or direct debit, whatever it may be. Hang on a second. No, you need to start right from the beginning. You need to strip all that back and go, who are we? What do we stand for, and what are we trying to achieve? And from what you're telling me, you guys have done that, which is
we're doing that.
Well, you've done it, but it's evolving as you go. Yeah, as you said, it's the evolution is still growing. You know what you're achieving. You're happy with what you're achieving, and your membership base proves that to you as well. So what you're offering in those 5 different spaces, I should say, is the right offering for your demographic and your people that are there. But you haven't just sort of gone, oh yeah, we'll try and do this. You've done market research. You've actually done and looked at what you need to do to offer that. So many gyms still don't know what the hell they're doing, and you are, I'd say you are on the forefront of what's happening in this industry at the moment, where clubs need to look at all those offerings. You need to have those boutique spaces or clubs within your club in order to attract everyone, because if you're not, they'll go elsewhere. They'll go and do the F45, or they'll go and do the CrossFit, or they'll go and do the yoga studio down the street, and they'll pay 2 or 3 times as much because it's what they want. It's what they're looking for. But if you can do it as you've done, and you've kept that price point where you were, your members are going to stay for longer, be loyal, attract more people because of what you are offering.
Yeah, but the other fun thing is that we've all collectively bought a lot of experience from different places and settings and experiences. And we are a young brand. Like, you know, we've all been around a while, but Fit is, it's a disruptor. Like it's only 3 years old. Like we're not bound by a history of that's the way we've always done it, or, you know, we can turn on a wheel and say, yes, no, that's working, that's not, you know. The way the boys think is, you know, Dukes is 5 years ahead of everyone all the time. Which is exciting. You know, it's like working for a Branson-esque type headspace, because it's, you know, it's easy to work for someone like that, because I don't have to think how. You know, I sometimes joke and say I'm like the puppy, you know, like throw the ball and I'll go and get it and bring it back and go, yeah, okay, right, what's next? You know, and you know, I probably make it all sound very fun and flippant, but it's been a huge amount of work and, you know, probably a huge amount of headaches for them along the way. But we walk around our club and we're incredibly proud of the brand standards that we have, but the people who sit within the brand that we have, and you know, how they feel, and watching how the staff interact with each other. And, you know, it's a really nice, fun place to be. A world-class facility with world-class service is what we have up on our wall. And you know, a crisp, solid, you know, environment when you walk in. You know, like, you know, we all learn about touch points with the fitness journey, you know, back in the day when you all start, you know, from your front door to your group fitness room. Like I love all that stuff. You have to learn that stuff, but there has to be more than that. There has to be a feeling that when you walk into our club, there's a wow when you walk in. Like I often say, like, I love seeing it. I love it. I mean, I'm you know, I'm an emotional girl, really, but I would say that one of my strengths is I do read people fairly well, and I see it every time. You know, you walk in and they say reception, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm just another gem. And you walk into Exhale, and then you walk into Reformer, and you can just see their jaw just sort of slowly dropping. And then you walk upstairs, and it's like, oh my God, you know, like it's like a kid in an ice cream shop. It's amazing. And I mean, there are studios. We've also got this beautiful training floor, which has got, you know, 4 squat racks inside and the balcony outside with a rig. And, you know, so for lifters, it's not just, we're not just hitting the group fitness bunnies. We've got the, you know, solid hardcore weight lifters there as well. And we work hard to make sure that they all feel happy in the club as well, so that they've got their platforms and their dumbbells and their things that they need. So
I think that you touched on it then with the what I class as the foundations, which that, those touch points of walking in, someone saying hello to you, showing you where everything is, walking out again, when are you coming back, all that should be second nature for anyone that owns a gym. And they're the foundations of what really sets you apart. But it's the experience, and actually that member becoming more than just a member. That member that's in there is Fit Lane Cove. They are part of what's going on in there, and they are what make that place as well. You guys have done that great thing to create that culture, but it's your members that are the culture. Your members are really the ones that have jumped on board with the philosophy as well and gone, you know what, I'm part of this. I'm not just a number. Your members are making friends within the clubs, or when I say within the clubs, within those 5 studios in your room, in your center, and creating more of that atmosphere and more of that culture that's going on as well. They want to be there. They want to be part of that brand and destination.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I think on the whole, you know, like it's interesting with all the gyms shut at the moment, and you're walking around and everyone's going, oh, there's so many people out. And I think, well, there's so many people out because all these poor people can't be in. And I think there's room. There is room for everyone. Like I know I sound very like I've drunk the fit green juice or something, but
Kool-Aid.
I do. I love the other brands. Like I think I love anyone who's giving it a go. I love anyone who's genuinely, like, I think perhaps no one needs to reinvent the wheel anymore. Like, if you hear someone saying, "Oh, this is the next best thing," I think, really, is there another next best thing?
Yep.
But it's not about saying we're better than anyone else, but what we have, we believe is the best. And I think that's when you see, the fulfillment of your club is when you genuinely believe that you have the best. That would be in any facility. Like, the guy, Mr. Dubbo, he sounded like his place is amazing, like a really great thing, but he loves that thing like his own, and you can feel that. And I think, like, I felt like I wanted to go and visit just by listening to him talk. And I think when you hear passion, I'd love to hear that from all of my instructors, and I do, like, I get my yoga instructors come out and I'll go, "Oh, that was such a beautiful class, I loved it when," and they tell a story, and I think, wow, number one, you've stayed around more than 2 seconds to tell me that story, but also, you noticed, and you called that member by name when you told me that story, and they're the things that talk to me, that we're creating experiences and that we're creating journeys, not just for ourselves, but
even more so these days. I think your member needs something that is different. Heidi, thank you so much for being on the show with me. Thank you for taking your time on a Friday night to sit down and have a wine and have a chat. It's been great. Well, that's it for this chat. I hope you got something out of it and like what you heard. If you'd like to get in touch, head on over to the website groupex.com.au or throw us a like on Facebook at GROUPEX. May we meet again.